Massacre by the Ijaw ethnic group against tribes in southern Nigeria and the urgent cry for justice to be served. We members of Otedo Youth Union strongly condemns in clear terms the clandestine genocide and massacre perpetrated against tribes in southern Nigeria by the Ijaw ethnic group. And we wish to draw the attention of the entire world to this heinous campaign of terror, which has resulted to countless loss of lives, displacement of hundreds of thousands of people, and the destruction of multiple communities, with the intention to forcefully grab the land of the aborigines of other ethnic groups using violence. Nigeria, as we all know, is a nation state, a country full of many nations, and by virtue of state creation, most states in Nigeria are named after its traditional and historical antecedents. In post-independence era, the traditional and constitutional recognized states for the Benins and other Edo tribes living in Edo is Edo State, just as the traditional and constitutional recognized state of the Ijaws is Bayelsa State, even though it also comprises of other minority tribes. Therefore, the people found in 90% of various states in the country are majorly aborigines of those territories in pre-colonial times, save for the case of ethnic groups with documented historical migration from other territories to other parts of the country. There are historical records of the migration of several ethnic groups in the south, but the Ijaws have none. Neither can they give a chronological historical account of how they found themselves in the coastal areas of Edo, Delta, Rivers, Ondo, and Akwa Ibom states, because they are customary tenants in the above-mentioned areas. They lay claims to these territories, even when they have no historical or documented evidence to back up their claims, but are also quick to map out the coastal areas of other states for the creation of an imaginary Torebe state. Evidently, there are survivors in Benin who witnessed the unprovoked attacks by the Ijaws, resulting to the killing and displacement of hundreds of thousands of Edos in places like Okomu, Iko, Gelegele, and Ekenwa. These attacks were not mere clashes or skirmishes. They were calculated acts of aggression aimed at eradicating the Aboriginals in order to drastically reduce the population of the Edo-speaking people and taking over their ancestral land, of which they have succeeded in doing. The Ijaws have proudly owned up to this massacre, bragging on the internet that they have attacked the Edo people, and will repeat same again because they have an arsenal of guns and weapons at their disposal. This is not an isolated incident. The Edos are not the only tribe that has suffered from this massacre and genocide. They boasted severally of killing thousands of Ishekiri people during the Delta State crisis and are ready to kill more Ishekiris again. Furthermore, the Ijaws have gloated online about the blood of the people they killed in Ondo, making reference to the Ilaje crisis, and that they are ready to repeat the same bloody feast with the aim of grabbing the ancestral land of the Ilaje people of Ondo State. They claim to have given lands to the Ibibios, an ethnic group ancestrally domiciled in Akwa Ibom State, calling them tenants in their own land, and that they are ready to wage war with the Ibibios. The Ijaws are also a bone in the throats of the Ikwere people of River State, whom they rightly claim to have given lands to, wearing and violently attacking them at every given opportunity in a bid to displace them. the query for the purpose of their territorial expansion, the claims of the Ijaws is not well defined from their hidden agenda of the Niger Delta People's Republic of Ijaws Nation, a dream propounded by Azik Jasper Adakaboro on the 23rd January 1966, which earned him the offense of a treasonable fellow to be executed. When the movement for the emancipation and liberation of Niger Delta started many years ago, it was the entire tribes in the South region that were engaged in the struggle. But when the rewards and the benefit came, it became an all Ijaw affair. Now the Ijaws are feeding fats on the resources in all southern states, to the extent that most Edo, Ibibio, and Urobos are not even aware of the natural resources in their land, talk more of benefiting from it. The history of the world is a shared one, and across the tribes and various ethnicities in southern Nigeria, they are shared languages, names, and words in common. Tribes like the Edo, Urobo, Ishakiri, Ikwere, and even down to the eastern part of the Niger, which predominantly consist of the Ijaws. But the Ijaws, who claim to own the whole of the South, shares nothing in common in terms of names, language, and culture with other tribes in southern Nigeria, but are rather after the coastal areas of other people's territories. The taste of the Ijaw in grabbing land is insatiable. The pattern of behavior demonstrates a clear intent to dominate and subjugate other tribes in the southern region of Nigeria, using violence and intimidation to achieve their goals. There is an adage in local parlance that says, the evil you failed to destroy today will surely come around to destroy you tomorrow. Therefore, we call on all tribes in southern Nigeria whose coastal and hinterland has been infested by the ethnic stench of the Ijaws and all the name of migration, to reject and never allow any form of Ijaw settlement or camp in their land and waterside, as this is the only way this insatiable taste of the Ijaws in the land grabbing can be nipped in the bud before they start claiming to have given lands to their hosts, thereby calling their landlords tenants. Lastly, we would like to state unequivocally that no tribe, group, or ethnicity has monopoly of violence. Whatever violent tendencies the Str0ng they have, every tribe across the South equally have access to it, but have chosen to remain peaceful and coexist with their neighbors over the years. We are therefore using this medium to inform the federal government of Nigeria that the Ijaws should be held fully accountable in the advent of any chaos and war outbreak in the South as a result of their agenda of land grabbing. And if they do not put a stop to this unprovoked genocide and massacre against the tribes of southern Nigeria, they shall have no other option other than to defend themselves and land against the ethnic excesses of these blood-tasty land grabbers called Ijaws. God bless Edo State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Obaga Tokpe.